All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So apparently 2018 is the year of the comeback in the sport of bodybuilding. So we have several major comebacks. So I'm going to start with one of the smaller names. A lot of you guys might remember Zach King Khan. He used to work with and represent Nutrix Labs. He hasn't competed in probably 3 or 4 years now. He had a major leg injury that kind of set him back when he was competing, and his legs never really fully recovered after that and kind of held him back in terms of his placings. But he recently announced in a vlog on the Napa Bodybuilding TV YouTube channel, I think about 3 weeks ago now, that he's planning on making his comeback in 2018. So he's definitely not going to be alone in that crop of bodybuilders that's making their comeback. So I'm very excited to see Zach Khan come back. He was one of my favorite bodybuilders back in the day. When I first got into lifting, I remember a lot of the photos and posters and magazine ads of Zach King Khan, where he's just looking freaky, like training in a dungeon. And he was one of my favorite bodybuilders. So I hope he really has a successful comeback whenever he plans on doing that. So next on the list, we have Robert Bernica. Now, this guy might be a guy that a lot of you guys don't remember. I remember Robert from back in the day for having, these massive arms. That's what he was known for. Back in like 2010 or 2011, I believe, was when he really burst onto the scene. He won the NPC USA's back in 2010, earning his pro card. And then in 2011, he debuted at the New York Pro, where he placed 5th. And he was known for having these massive 24-inch arms. He's a Lithuanian bodybuilder, but he's been spending a lot of time in Poland, where he's been pursuing kind of a career as this Polish celebrity. He's done some MMA fights. He's opened a gym over there. He's kind of this big viral star in Poland, but a lot of people in the U.S. don't really know who he is. His last competition was the 2014 Nordic Pro, where he placed 7th. So he's been out of the game for about 3 years now, and he's currently working with Dave Palumbo to make his comeback at the 2018 New York Pro. So next on the list, we have a little bit of a bigger name here. So Kevin Lavro, obviously we have not seen him since the 2016 Mr. Olympia. He originally had announced that his goal was to win a pro show in 2017. Now I believe his goal is to simply win a pro show before he officially retires. So Kevin Lavro's plan is to compete in the 2018 Arnold Classic Australia, so not the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. They are 2 different Arnold Classics. So next on the list, we have Eddie Moyes. Now, a lot of people would argue that Eddie Moyes is one of the best bodybuilders to never turn pro just due to the sheer size of his arms. He had 23.5-inch arms. And he competed in the NPC Nationals back in the early 2000s, when the crop of guys competing at the Nationals was like the highest caliber that the Nationals had ever seen. So he competed, I believe, 3 or 4 times, attempting to turn pro at those Nationals. He never quite succeeded. He competed against guys like Dave Palumbo and very accomplished bodybuilders like that, but he never seemed to make it. But he recently announced, even though he hasn't competed since about 2002, he recently announced that he's planning to compete at the 2018 NPC USA's and give it one more shot at getting that pro card. Now, a lot of you guys might not have heard of Eddie Moyes, but if you look at some of these photos or just Google some photos of him, you will quickly realize how great of a bodybuilder he really was and how cool it's going to be to see him try to get back on stage and get that pro card. So next on the list, we have Dennis Wolf. Now, we have not seen Dennis Wolf since 2015 at the Prague Pro. Obviously, he had a very severe injury to one of the vertebrae in his neck. It was a very serious surgery, very invasive, and that required a long, extensive recovery period. So he's been out for about 2 years. Now, keep in mind, Dennis Wolf is an Arnold Classic winner and a frequent top 6 finisher at the Mr. Olympia. And he plans on making his comeback at the 2018 Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. So we all look forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do, given the fact that he's won the Arnold Classic before. He's placed 2nd there. Again, a frequent top 6 finisher at the Mr. Olympia, and arguably one of the best bodybuilders of all time. And finally, we have Kai Greene. Now, Kai Greene's isn't really as much of a comeback, but we have not seen him compete at all in 2017. The last time we saw Kai compete was at the 2016 Arnold Classic Brazil, which he obviously won. But we have not seen Kai compete in 2017. He's been pursuing his acting career. He's been pursuing other things, traveling, seeing the world, visiting all these countries, promoting his brand, Dynamic Muscle. And we have not seen Kai on stage at all this year. But rumor has it that Kai Greene is planning on competing in one of the Arnold Classic shows this year, most likely the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, yet again. And last but not least, we have Evan Centopani. So Evan Centopani we have not seen compete since the 2014 IFBB Australia Pro Grand Prix, which he won, and he placed 5th at the Arnold Classic that year. Now, Evan is obviously one of the fan-favorite bodybuilders. He's an animal-sponsored athlete. A lot of people are giant fans of Evan. He recently had a massive injury, I believe, in his quad. But he recently announced he was planning on competing at some point in 2018. So I'm sure a lot of people are very excited to see that happen. Again, Evan is definitely the people's champ. He's got a lot of people following him on his animal site, his vlogs, his, big on a budget stuff that he does with animal. He's put out a lot of good educational videos. And I think a lot of people are very excited to see him come back after not having competed for about 3 years now. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. I believe 2018 is one of the most exciting years for bodybuilding. All these comebacks are part of the reason for that. A lot of great bodybuilders that we haven't seen in years are going to be gracing the stage yet again. So I'm very excited to see what each and every single one of these bodybuilders are going to be able to bring to the stage that we haven't seen over the past couple of years. So let me know who you're most excited to see make a comeback in the comment section below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.